This is Valley News Live at 6.
Fargo police have named the man they say shot 3 people at a downtown bar early Sunday morning.
Police say they need your help finding this man, 43-year-old Brandon Grant, who they say is considered armed and dangerous.
Meanwhile, growing concern about the shooting has a city commissioner making statements about 2 bars and its owner. Tony Gehrig, in an email today, stated that Empire Liquors and the Bismarck Tavern have received unlimited chances and that owner Jim Swanick should never own a liquor license. According to Fargo police, since June of 2020, they responded to the Bismarck 606 times, with the top 3 calls being assaults, impaired people, and disturbances.
What's going to happen now is if we do nothing, it's going to keep on happening. And I'm not saying that he can stop every crime that happens around his facility. I know that. But this, like I said, it's not happening in a vacuum. This is a repeated offense. This is something that happens again and again. And so there's something happening here that's more than just a bar being downtown. Other bars downtown don't have these things happening.
Now with more on the shooting, let's go to Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley. Bailey?
Mike, bartenders tell me that Brandon Grant should have been or was barred from ever stepping foot into the Bismarck Tavern a long time ago. They say he's known for causing trouble, and they say that he's known for causing fights. Now, none of those bartenders wanted to speak with me on camera today, but they did tell me that they are very shaken up, and they say all of this happened right here at the back of the bar. We're just off of 6th Avenue North and Robert Street. They say this is where that chaos ended. They say the fight started inside near the pool tables, which is just on the other side of this back door. They say there was some shouting, and then about 10 gunshots rang out. They say one of those victims received 5 shots to his body, while the other 2 victims each were shot about 1 or 2 times each in their bodies. Fargo police saying today that all 3 victims are still in the hospital, but they say the good news is all 3 of those victims did not receive any life-threatening injuries. Bartenders say that they hope Brandon Grant is found soon before anybody else is hurt or possibly killed. Live in downtown Fargo tonight, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Thanks so much, Bailey. Grant was the center of an hours-long standoff in September of 2019 near North Dakota State University. He was convicted and later sentenced to just under a year in jail.
The police need your help with a vandalism case in West Fargo. It happened in the overnight hours on Friday at Shades of Grey Tattoos. On Saturday, officers saw that the windows were shot. Since no one was at the building during the time of the incident, no one was hurt. But if you know anything about this case, call police.
Great start to the work week from our weather. Today's temps cutting into whatever snow is on the ground, which always is a good thing this time of year. Let's find out from Hutch what we can expect tonight. Mr. Johnson?
Thanks, Mike. Good evening, everyone. We started out the work week beautifully with temperatures soaring after we've recovered from some very cold weather for the last couple of weeks, and now we're keeping our eyes on a weather making system for your Tuesday. First alert weather day, we do have winter weather advisories crawling across the bottom of your screen for the Central Valley, parts of the Devil's Lake Basin, and into Lakes Country. We're expecting a narrow band to set up somewhere close to Highway 2 to Highway 200, 2 to 4 inches in that band. Expected many of the rest of us getting a trace, but let's celebrate that sunrise and beautiful weather we saw today. Temperatures soared, and I mean rose to near 50 in Jamestown and Gwinner, 47 in Grand Forks, and 41 today in Fargo. We have a few clouds out there, but otherwise the rest of your evening looks very quiet. Now, I will have hour-by-hour details coming up on the timing, track, and expected longevity of our winter weather system that will come through on your Tuesday here in just a bit. But be prepared for some impacts to that afternoon and evening commute.
All right, thanks.
A Fargo man arrested during the May 30th riots will serve jail time. The 21-year-old has been sentenced to 4 months in jail, followed by 3 years of supervised release. He was charged with civil disorder. The judge also ordered him to pay $2,500 in restitution.
A man has been charged with homicide after being accused of dealing a fatal dose of fentanyl to a Jamestown man. Jordan Mckay was charged in the death of Dylan Workingthion. The overdose happened January 15th in the 500 block of 4th Avenue Southeast in Jamestown. Text messages between Mckay and the victim showed that Mckay was planning to sell him Percocet pills. A drug screen of the victim's blood identified the presence of fentanyl. Investigators found M30 fentanyl pills in the victim's home, which Mckay later admitted to selling him.
Charges have now been filed against an Ottertail County Sheriff's deputy after a high-speed chase that killed 2 people in Fergus Falls. Deputy Kelly Backman was chasing a suspect who had several felony warrants. Cody Freitag blew through a stop sign and hit another car, killing both people inside. A blood test indicated Deputy Backman had fentanyl in his system at 3 times the therapeutic dose. Backman has been charged with misconduct by a police officer and 4th-degree DWI.
A 70-year-old man was injured in a weekend snowmobile accident. It happened Saturday in the Paul Bunyan State Forest. Authorities say that William Sapaniak was riding when he lost control, went into a ditch and hit a tree. First responders found him down a hill after being thrown from the snowmobile. He was flown to a hospital in St. Cloud complaining of head, back, and leg pain.
We're learning more about the rollover crash that happened in Moorhead on Saturday. Police say 3 vehicles were involved. A driver who was heading southbound on 30th Street failed to yield and hit a vehicle that was eastbound on Highway 10. The vehicle that was hit rolled. No one was injured, but 2 people were taken to a hospital. The driver who failed to yield is facing a citation.
The last couple of months have been challenging for the owners of a Detroit Lakes business after fire caused what could be an estimated $1 million in damages. That fire in late December was at the Wold's RV sales along Highway 10 in Becker County. It was intentionally set, and today we learned that charges were filed.
Both my husband and I are in denial, kind of like, what? This doesn't happen in small town Detroit Lakes. And I mean, my first reaction was like, oh my gosh, there's so much to be thankful for. It wasn't our house. It wasn't that. But as the time goes on, it's such a big, there's just so many decisions. It's affected so much. Everything is hard doing business, you know.
42-year-old Daniel Kaufman is charged with 2nd-degree arson and theft after his truck was connected to the fire and the theft of a new fish house. Investigators seized Kaufman's phone and found several incriminating internet searches. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison.
A Grand Forks police K-9 is being credited with tracking down a shoplifter. The incident happened on Saturday night at Shields. Police found the shoplifter's car and discovered that the suspects ran away. One suspect was caught while the other ran to the parking lot of a nearby apartment complex. K-9 Shelby found the second suspect hiding under a vehicle about 2 blocks away.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, where some people are turning to in hopes of finding COVID-19 vaccine.
And wintry weather returning for some areas, but not all. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect on a tricky Tuesday coming up right after this.